welcome into the dream sphere. I'm the storyteller, Emily Goodwin, and today I'm really excited to introduce our first guest, which is Hilary. So could you just tell us a little bit about yourself? What is your profession? Where you're from?
Yeah, absolutely. Where should I start?
Wherever you like.
So, yeah. So I trained in industrial design, right? And quickly after I graduated, I had a body meltdown. So my
Ooh.
body kind of started shutting down on me, and I was having really bad sleep issues, and lots of crappy stuff was happening. But
Oh, sounds
um,
horrible.
yeah, it did suck. So I decided to retrain because at that point I wasn't able to work for anyone else.
Mm.
Um, and I was getting better, but I was still terrified to work for anybody else. So I retrained in hypnosis because hypnosis helped me on my journey to bring myself out of it, right?
Okay.
And so I retrained in hypnosis, and then I opened this. I just dove off a cliff like into the ether. Like
Wow.
I hope this works, and I opened a clinic for hypnosis.
By yourself, or do you have other hypnotherapists
I
with you?
I have my partner Les. He's also a hypnotherapist, and we both
Wow.
opened it back in October.
Oh my goodness, power couple. That's so
Yeah.
cool. Wow, good for you. That's amazing.
Well, I mean, there was definitely sleepless nights. Opening a business in the pandemic is, I don't know what we were thinking, but
Wow.
it's working. So it's good.
Wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's well, yeah, you said just last October.
We opened,
Wow.
yeah, October 2nd. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So you guys are
Yeah.
new and up and coming. I love that. Good for
Yeah.
you. That's
Yeah.
ballsy. That's crazy.
Yeah. It is crazy.
Wow. So you're a hypnotherapist and
hmm
you got there because of your own trials and tribulations. You climbed your mountain. Do you
Yeah.
feel
I
like you're
mean,
on
I'm
top
still
of it?
climbing,
You're still
but
climbing? That's
I'm still
okay.
climbing. It's always climbing, right? But
Yeah.
things work, and sometimes there's things that bring you back a little bit, but it's always upwards, so that's good.
Oh, that's fantastic. I'm really glad to hear that. So whereabouts are you guys from? Where are you located?
Yeah, so we're located in the Kawartha Lakes, Lindsay, Ontario,
Oh,
and
Lindsay. Okay.
our business.
Nice.
And I personally am from like I was born in Ontario, but I moved around a lot. My family is generally from Newfoundland,
Okay.
Canada, and so I go out there when I can. Obviously, right now I can't, but
Yeah, everybody's kind of
yeah,
stuck right now.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I moved around a lot. I was in Peterborough. I was in Uxbridge. I
Okay.
was, I was everywhere.
Nice, nice. Yeah, that Lindsay's actually close to where my family hometown is. They're over in Pefferlaw. I don't know if you've ever heard of
Oh
that
yeah,
little
Pepperla. Yeah,
tiny
I used to
town.
live. Yeah, that's crazy. I grew up in Zephyr. Do you
Oh,
remember
no
Do you?
way. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, that's so funny. Oh my goodness, little hometown girls over here.
Right.
That's cute. I love that. Yeah. Yeah, I
Mhm.
do. I love Pefferlaw. It's small, but it's cute. It's quaint.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, for sure.
could you just give me kind of an introduction to when dreams started becoming a little bit more of like an interest to you, or if dreams are interesting to you?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I've often told people, if I didn't have my dreams, I feel like I'd be lost because I feel like I live like sometimes I feel like I'm in a double life. Like I have I have dreams, and I don't know if you have this too, but you have them. I have a mall that I always end up at, and I
Oh,
have
okay.
like a super highway that I'm always going on, and I have
Interesting.
um, a couple places that I go back to a lot. But yeah, dreams for me became really just kind of out there and important when I've had a few like lucid dreams,
Mm-hmm.
and I've learned like so much from those that, personally that I just, yeah, they just became huge in my life, right?
Right.
I
Yeah.
became very interested in what they meant, or, what was
Mm.
going on and why things happened and stuff like that. So,
Mm-hmm. That's so cool. Lucid dreams are awesome. I've had a couple
yeah,
lucid dreams myself, and it was like I woke up and I was like, wow, that's
right.
amazing. It was so cool. Sometimes they're even so vivid that I almost forget them sometimes as memories. Like I'll confuse some of my lucid dreams for actual events that have happened in my life, and it's like, oh my
Yeah,
gosh, that was a dream. That didn't actually happen.
absolutely, right.
Yeah, yeah, really crazy. So
hmm
what's the relationship between dreams and hypnosis, if there is one?
Yeah, so I mean, there is and there isn't. There's so hypnosis. So you're constantly in, usually throughout your day, you are going through gamma and beta states, brainwave states, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so and these states are very erratic energy, like very quick and fast energy. And so that's what your brain is going through. When you go into hypnosis, you go into an alpha state, which is just slowing your brain waves down. It's relaxing. I mean, some people fall asleep on me, but that's because they've dipped too far down. But so they're going into alpha. Sometimes they dip into theta. Sometimes they come up back into beta and gamma, but then I take them back down. And so it's this constant dance of going up and down in brain waves, right?
Mm. Sounds
And
dreamy, very dreamlike. I feel like
yeah,
I'm being soothed by it right now.
yeah, exactly, right. So when you fall asleep, when you're on the verge from theta to delta, delta is the slow brainwave. It's you're asleep.
Hmm.
We don't go there in hypnosis, but we um, again we dance on that level, right? So we bring you down to theta, and then just on the edge of delta, where you're not going into sleep, but you're very relaxed,
Mm.
right?
Hmm.
And so you can in the theta and alpha state, you can really access imagery, right? I have a lot of clients that will sit here and tell me, that they're not good at visualization, right? So they're worried that hypnosis won't work for them. But once you are down in those states, um, your whole creative side and your whole visualization side expand, right? So people
Okay.
will go through hypnosis with me and then they'll say, oh my gosh, like I didn't think I could visualize that. Well, it's because you just allowed your mind to just slow down
Mm.
and go into that state,
Wow.
right? Not a sleep state, not a dream sleep state, but very close. And so yeah, that's how they're kind of related.
Hmm.
Uh, as for dreams, those are on a different level than hypnosis, right?
Hmm.
But can still have very vivid visualizations. And, a lot of study is going into how those might actually be connected, but we're just not
Right.
sure yet. Yeah.
Ooh, so we're still kind of on the precipice of
Yeah.
understanding what that
Yeah.
unconscious little tidbit is trying to tell us.
Exactly.
Wow, that's so cool. So, what are some interesting things about hypnosis that you might want to share?
Yeah. So hypnosis, oh man. I was just with a,
If you can choose just like one
I
or
know,
two
right?
out of all those exciting things.
I was just with a client this morning and just explaining how neuron activity works. You've got these neurons that are firing little energy patterns, and so neurons are wiring together constantly, and they're also constantly breaking apart, right? It doesn't take long for them to wire or break apart. And so in hypnosis, we are going into the subconscious. We're bringing up the subconscious, sorry. Bringing up the subconscious, which is always there in the background. And it's running the show, really, right? And so we're going into the subconscious, and through the subconscious work, through that alpha and theta brainwave level work, we can create new neuron pathways, and just make them stronger, or figure out where someone's pathway is for confidence or motivation to do stuff in their life, right? Or break a habit or something like that. And what we do is we make that stronger for them. When in a conscious state, we have a hard time doing that, right? So in a conscious state, we have willpower, right? We love to think we have willpower.
Yeah, we do.
Right? And so if you imagine an iceberg, right? The tip of the iceberg is like your conscious mind. And underneath the water is a massive same iceberg, right?
Yeah.
And so you've got 95% of the iceberg is underwater, and 5% is your conscious mind above the water, the little iceberg. And what's underneath the water is subconscious, unconscious, superconscious, lots of different stuff, right? And the subconscious, forgive me if I just go on and on here.
I'm very interested. I'm intrigued right now. I want to see where this goes.
So the subconscious is from the ages of 0 to 5, 6, 7 years old. We are sponges, right? We're little kids. We're bringing in the world all around us, and we're just sponges. So what ends up happening is, we don't know where to log things. We don't know how to, like, as an adult, we look back and we go, well, that didn't seem like a big thing, right? But as a child, we might associate unfortunate, negative emotions to things that might look, pretty mundane as an adult, right? Situations that are pretty mundane. But if we have those emotions as a child linked to certain circumstances, then, are you with me?
Yes, yes. Yeah.
If we have those emotions as a child linked to those circumstances, then, and they're negative, then anytime something even like that circumstance happens during your life, right? And that's a lot.
Yeah.
It snowballs that emotion.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Right? So, I have a lot of, this is kind of off topic, I know, with the dreams and everything.
Oh, no, that's okay. I mean, subconscious and unconscious, like that all links back to the dream realm, right? It's an unconscious state that we're in. So it's interesting to see kind of, what we pick up as we get older, and like how that relates. And like we could probably have really terrifying dreams about those childhood circumstances, right? So really it all links. Sorry?
Because it's in the subconscious,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I think this is right on topic.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
So something really easy, an explanation like I give my clients is, you think of someone, a child, that the parents, they're just doing the best that they can at that moment, right? Like they don't know everything. And so the parent might say to the child, eat everything on your plate and you'll get dessert, right? Yeah. And this is a really simple explanation for hypnosis. So the child associates good things, a feeling of satisfaction, dessert, right? With eating.
Right.
And eating everything on their plate. So I have clients come to me and they're like, I don't know what, I binge eat, or, I can't stop eating, or I hide food, or, there's lots of things. So what I mean, sometimes it's just that. It's something that was said to them that has paired, right, with a positive emotion about food, fulfilling a void.
Mm-hmm.
And and then it just perpetuates from there. It snowballs, right? And
Wow.
so the child grew up to think that the way to find satisfaction is through food.
Mm-hmm.
And so in hypnosis, we dig into the subconscious, we get there, and we just work with that situation from them as a child, right? We go back there and we do inner child work, and
Okay.
then it's released, and then they can just go about their daily lives without worrying about without food being an issue, right?
Wow. So it
Yeah,
really,
that's
so it can really like break the link between the childhood
mm,
memory and then the adult's feeling and that kind of like almost obsessive behavior sometimes. Like I know
that's right.
for me, I have a problem with binge eating, and I'm sure there's loads of people who do. And
Hmm.
that makes a lot of sense to me. Like it's very it
Yeah,
it the pieces of the puzzle seem to fit very well together. It's just
exactly,
that
right.
maybe we need people like you who actually kind of like understand that to like tell us and help us figure that out. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah. There's lots of different hypnosis is just full of different avenues to take to clear up that stuff. And
mhm.
yeah, and everybody has their own story, right? It's not cut and paste. It's not a cookie cutter,
Yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
everyone's got their own history, right?
Mhm.
And so, yeah, working with that, you learn a lot.
Yeah, I bet you do. I bet.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, but
so
it's
cool.
beautiful seeing people transform.
Oh, yeah, I can just imagine that feeling of, wow, especially if you've been dealing with something for such a long time and then you see that light in their eyes like, wow, I'm free. The freedom.
Exactly.
That's so
Yes.
wonderful. Wow. So do
Yeah.
you ever use dreams in your hypnosis?
Yes.
How does that work?
Um, so, so sometimes I've had this happen a couple times now, is where I'll be about to start working with a client, and I'll be during the day going, okay, how am I going to do this? How am I going to approach this, right? Because each client again is different, and sometimes they've got obviously different things going on. And I like to approach things in a very visual way.
Mhm.
So a couple times now, just as I'm falling asleep or just as I'm waking, those dreams that are coming in and out of your visuals, right?
Mhm.
I will receive information on how to move forward with the client through a dream. So it's
Whoa.
quite amazing. So it's just I think it's just my subconscious has been mulling this over, right? My
Mhm.
conscious and subconscious. And I think it's opening up the creative side. And when you're on those brinks, when you're on the brink of sleep, whether it's in or out of sleep, those are the most creative times, right?
Mhm.
You can have inspiration come to you very quickly through those times, and the little dreams that you have that pop up, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I have loads of. That's why I keep a notebook actually beside my bed, because right
Yeah.
before I fall asleep, that's when I'm like, oh my goodness! Like I have these kind of aha moments where
Yeah.
I realize that like if I'm doing a sewing project, for example, and I'm like, how do I fit those two pieces together? And then suddenly I'll be like, oh, there's the answer.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
right?
really interesting. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah.
that's exactly it. Yeah.
Wow. So it's yeah, because so you're almost like I suppose would that almost be a state of hypnosis by itself? Like, is that
Yeah, you're
self hypno? Hello, sorry. Is that? I'm so excited. I can't. I'm like over for that. Is that like a self hypnosis, like a incubation?
It could be seen as self-hypnosis. Self-hypnosis is incredibly powerful,
Mm.
and I often teach my clients if they want to learn how to do it, to do it. for themselves, because a lot of people think they have to come in here to do it.
Yeah,
But
well,
you can do a
yeah.
lot of work by yourself, right? In a
Mm,
relaxed state.
wow.
But on those, like I mentioned in the beginning, on those, you know, going in and out of sleep, you're in that theta stage, right? You're out of you're not quite asleep, but you're kind of awake, and so you're dipping between theta and delta, right? You're
Mm-hmm.
you're going up and down and up and down, and in that theta state is where your creativity lives, right? Your
Mm,
subconscious mind is where your creative sense lives,
mm,
and that's why we have those, you have those aha moments, and
yeah.
just on the, like you
That's so
said, the
cool.
precipice of
Yeah.
sleep.
Wow. So do you think that people who are maybe having a hard time with school projects even, do you think that that deep state of relaxation before you go to sleep, do you think that that would be helpful for people to even, I mean, could you practice that? Like, is it a practice thing, or is it, yeah, it is
Yeah,
practice?
and I can guarantee you, I'll probably work on this on the first go.
Wow.
And it's funny you mentioned that, because I am creating a program that's all based on creativity, right?
Oh, okay.
For designers. I was creating it for designers,
Mm-hmm.
um, but it's open to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
uh, but just accessing that problem solving, right? That problem solving part of your mind that during the daytime, your conscious thoughts, like everything's getting in the way.
Mm-hmm.
And once you allow your mind to just relax and into those brain waves that are much slower, that's
Mm-hmm.
when that problem solving, that creativity, that like, big breath out, just relaxing. Okay, I can handle this. All that stuff that students go through, as you know,
Yeah.
right? The creative block that we
Oh,
get,
oh my
the
goodness.
staring, yeah, the staring at the computer screen or the piece of paper, waiting to draw, and you just don't know what to do. That just alleviates that, right? And
Mm-hmm.
and it makes it so much easier. So, like, I'll take excuse me, I'll take clients through, if they want creativity, I'll take them to even if they're like 50 years old, I'll take them to a sandbox, right? Play
Oh,
in the sandbox,
that's
right?
wonderful.
In their mind. And
Yeah.
that, and they can build, and they can create, and they can just be a kid again, and they can just be, out there, and just have fun, right? Because,
Yeah.
like, when you're the great thing about hypnosis is um, it puts aside the part of your mind that controls the thoughts of, well, I'm too old for this, or
Mm.
I'm embarrassed to do this, or maybe not, right? Like, that's not for me. And so when I have people in hypnosis, it's so easy for them to just do and be, and and go through the visuals and tell me what's happening, and that's where the healing is, right? And that's where the creativity comes from.
Wow.
Um, just also important. I'm sorry if I got off your question there.
No, no, but that's so beautiful. Like it just feels like while we're going through life right now, we're forced to like figure out problems and use your logical mind to
Yeah,
really like you know do this. And if you can't, then you're considered not well educated or not smart enough. Or and it's like, whoa, if you just relax, that
yeah,
would fix a lot of the problems.
yeah,
Ah,
exactly.
wow.
Yeah.
I'm gonna think about that next time I'm trying to solve something and I'm stressed out. It's like, okay, gotta bring it down 100
Absolutely.
notches.
Yep. Just go into a relaxed state, and
Mm,
it'll come to you, right? And just concentrate on your breathing, and just breathe from the belly, right? A
mm.
lot of people, breathe from the chest. You're constantly up here with your breath. And it's so important to remember that your breath should be coming from your belly, right? It's like filling a cup of
Right.
water, right?
Okay.
You're filling right down to the bottom
Hmm.
and exhaling in the same way.
Right.
But yeah, just bringing it down and just allowing your mind to slow down, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when you're on the, even if you fall asleep, it's fine,
Mm-hmm.
right? And and if you have intention, that's another big thing, is if you have intention to do something or figure something out, right?
Mm-hmm.
That can play into your dreams too, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, if you go to sleep saying to yourself, I want to figure this out, or I want to do something, or experience something, chances are, I mean, you might get the answer while you're asleep, right? In
Yeah.
your dream.
Yeah, yeah. I've had a lot of experiences like that before, actually, where I'll be trying to figure something out. Actually, recently, my tire for my bike, the inner tube, it popped, so I had to replace it. And I decided to do it by myself, which I don't know anything about tires. And so I got it like mostly in, but then it was so difficult to like
Yeah,
put it in fully. And then I had a dream that night that I had figured it out and that I was so proud that I did it. And I was showing my roommates, being like, guys, I got the tire tube in. And then I woke up the next morning and I knew how to fix it. Like I just
that's
knew.
incredible.
Isn't that amazing?
That is amazing.
And it was,
Actually, that reminds me of do you know SolidWorks? Do you remember SolidWorks
yes.
from school?
Mm-hmm.
I hate SolidWorks. But
Oh, so does everybody, I think. Everyone who knows, it's like, oh, SolidWorks.
so for my thesis, I'll make this short, but for my thesis, I decided on the craziest model that you could imagine, right? So
Good for
SolidWorks didn't
you.
work for me. So I had to learn Fusion 360. I don't know if you know, but Fusion 360,
I've
but
heard of it. I've heard of it.
yeah, so it's a modeling program, and I was, oh my gosh, countless hours at the in that building,
Oh,
yeah, going through Fusion 360, learning it, but
right.
also not just not getting my model correct.
Mm.
And I I remember falling asleep one night, and on the just as I was just dipping into sleep, and what um this weird thing that I can do when I'm just on the edge of sleep. I think I could do it in my conscious mind too, because I have done it in the past. But anyway, when I was on the edge of sleep, what I was doing in my mind was creating my model in the program, like
Mm.
dream state, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was the weirdest thing because I still remember to this day, whenever something wouldn't work, I would know that it wasn't going to work, right? And when something worked, it worked. It was so weird. Anyway,
Oh.
I got up the next morning and I went to school and I had my model built in less than an hour because I
No.
had done it the night before.
No way!
Right? It's
Oh
so
my
crazy.
gosh, that's so cool. What the
It's
heck?
friggin' crazy. So
Ah,
anyway, yeah, like those like half dream, half awake states, they're amazing. They
wow.
really are.
There's
Yeah.
some power there that we need to we need to figure out how to harness that power. That's
Right?
so amazing.
Yeah.
Whoa. Ooh, I'm
Yeah.
gonna I'm gonna definitely think about that a lot more, I think. Trying to
Yeah.
maybe even like, going to sleep as a meditation thing. Like it would just be so nice because then you can just be as creative as you want. Doesn't necessarily have to make sense or anything, but you could just go crazy in there.
Yeah. Yeah. Seriously.
Wow. Wow, wow. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, so my next question for you, now that we're kind of into the artsy side,
Yeah.
is on your website, it says you are an artist and a designer as well as a hypnotherapist. So have you ever had dreams that have like influenced your art or um, art pieces or other artistic flares that you've had that have impacted dreams that you've had maybe? Like maybe you've had dreams that are super artistic or anything of that nature?
Yeah, most of them are related to school way back, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so I often have outer space dreams.
Oh.
Um, like I'm floating in space or I'm in a. Oh, I know one. Sorry, one just
Ah!
came.
Okay, tell
Oh
me,
my
tell me.
God. So this dream was like I was obsessed.
Oh.
While you know how sometimes dreams can make you just obsessed.
Oh yeah.
So like with art or whatever was to come of it. But oh man, just thinking of this dream. Sorry.
Oh,
Um,
you're killing me.
so
The suspense.
I know I'm like, tell me. So okay, there's two actually.
Oh my
Sorry.
goodness.
Okay,
Please.
first one.
Yeah.
So I was dreaming once that I was in this space shuttle and I was just kind of humming along, looking out the window, and there was these like space stations. I had never seen them before in my life, in waking life.
Mm-hmm.
But there was these space stations, and they were completely like a globe with, um, with like, not tentacles, arms that went out to another one,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And and the globe was like it reminded me to think of it. It was like built like a disco ball almost. Like
Okay.
each piece of the globe was rectangular piece, and they were all kind of on there, and they shined, and
Ooh.
they were really bright and beautiful, and shined this like metallic sheen.
Mm.
And I was in this space shuttle looking at it, and suddenly something is behind me, and I said, I said to this thing, whatever it was, man, like I wish I could design something like this. And it said to me, Hilary, you did design this.
Ooh.
And I was like, holy fuck. And then I woke up. I woke up
Oh.
and I was like obsessed. I was obsessed with drawing spaceships. I was obsessed with, I wanted my thesis to be this, this globe that I had seen, but my teachers were like, no.
Oh no.
Oh my gosh. So there was that, and that put me on a kind of a trajectory for doing kind of sci-fi stuff,
Oh,
right, in design.
love sci-fi.
And yeah, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh man, I'm gonna work for like Elon Musk and like flying these spaceships and
Yes.
God,
Yes, dream. I mean, that's why it's called a dream, right? Because it's something that
right?
you
Yeah,
imagine in your dreams. That's amazing.
right. So, and the second one that really stood out to me is this. I don't know what it's. Even today, I kind of know what it means because I looked it up afterwards. But so I was out in outer space again, and I was there was these I don't know people or spirits or something around me, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I was pushing and pulling planets like
Oh.
I was in charge of where they went type thing, and they were teaching me. And so I pushed out a couple planets, and then I pushed out another one, and they're like, no, you need you need three in a pattern, right?
Oh.
And I said, okay. And then they said, yes, and they need to be 200 degrees something apart, right? In a triangle.
Yeah.
And it was an amazing dream. And
Yeah.
it stuck with me. I remembered everything that happened, and it was very, very vivid.
Yeah.
And I came out of the dream. I woke up, and I was like, okay, triangles aren't 200 degrees, right?
Yeah.
Like, so I looked it up, and as far as I can tell, 200 degrees is a triangle that's laid over a sphere. So a
Oh.
triangle can be more, I think it's 180 or something. Triangles
Okay.
180. But when a triangle is laid over a sphere, and so the points are different, right? They're not flat,
Yeah.
laid over a sphere, it can be higher than 180.
Whoa.
And I thought, well, isn't that amazing? And it's used for stuff for outer space.
What?
I was like, what is
What?
happening here? Yeah, it
Huh?
was crazy. I
That's
don't even know.
amazing. My
Yeah, it was
goodness.
pretty amazing. So, of course, like throughout school, I was just I was
Yeah.
I was so obsessed. I mean, I have a someone from school. I remember him calling me like my name was SpaceX or something like
That's
just as a
awesome.
joke. But
That's a killer
yeah,
name.
it
I
was
like
great.
that.
Right?
That's super badass. I'd love to have that name.
Yeah,
Wow. So you were super into space. That's so cool. And you had a lot of space dreams. So
a
are
lot of
you,
space.
yeah. So do you like, this may be like kind of a far out question, but do you believe in aliens? Are you an alien person?
Oh yeah, I do. Yeah,
Oh, now that's pretty cool.
yeah,
So
I do believe it.
I mean, that's awesome just by itself. So do you think,
Yeah.
I mean, what's kind of like your belief around dreams? For example, the ancient Egyptians, they used to think that the gods were actually coming to them and like talking to them in their dreams, whereas more
Mhm.
modern scientists believe that it's more of just, what you've seen during the day and then your brain is translating it. Do
Yeah.
you do you think that aliens could have possibly visited you in your
Maybe,
dreams? Like that
maybe.
that's
Who
so
knows?
cool. I love that. I love that idea.
Yeah. No, I mean, I definitely believe that things during our daytime can influence our dreams, right?
Mhm.
Because there are many times when I've had dreams about things that happen in the day or you're just trying to get through and understand what happened and your dreams can reflect that.
Mhm.
But I also believe that dreams can be very soul-based, right?
Mm.
Um, I'm not sure exactly what happens when you go to sleep, but what I, kind of imagine is that we do reconnect with our soul being, right? Our higher self.
Mhm.
And we can have dreams that are associated with that. And whether, in that state, you can visit other, aliens
Yeah.
or other spiritual selves or higher selves. Um, I tried to find out in a lucid dream once because I knew I was dreaming, and then in the end I couldn't find out. But
Mhm.
um, yeah, I should tell that story actually when
Yeah,
towards the
please.
end.
Yeah.
Did you want it right now?
I'm sure. Why not?
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Because it is. I mean, I suppose it kind of goes along with it. So,
Yeah.
so I was as you probably know, like when you lucid dream, it's like there's something that you recognize in
Mhm.
the dream, and then suddenly you're thinking, okay, I'm dreaming now, right? Like
Yeah,
it
yeah.
sinks in that you're dreaming.
Mhm.
And then, of course, for me, I'm thinking, oh my God, I have like barely any time because once I start to realize that I'm dreaming, as a lucid dream, I don't have much time before I know I'm going to wake up, right?
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, I can't stay in it very long. So here I am. I'm at this school or college or something, and I'm walking up a set of stairs, and the stairs tipped me off. I was like,
Mm.
oh, okay, I think I'm dreaming, right? And
It
then
just
and then
tossed
I
you
started
off.
running.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's hilarious.
and yeah, so I there was people behind me and in front of me, and I was like, hey guys, like look at this, like look what I can do. And I put my hands together and I was trying to make snow form
Oh,
with my hands. It was so weird.
that's
So weird.
awesome.
But it kept like the snow wouldn't form quite well, and
Oh.
it kept like coming up and hitting me in the face. And they were laughing and whatnot, and I went on, and I went to this room where they were it was kind of darkly lit. So this was like a school, it felt like, right? And I went to this classroom, and there was all these people writing these like indistinguishable scriptures, but with these huge pens, like really long. Like it's like they were attached to machines. It was
Oh,
crazy,
that's
but
bizarre.
yeah. And I went up to the teacher. I don't know who it is, so just this woman teacher, and I said to her, um, at the time I was like, what is my higher self? Like, what is heaven or whatever's beyond or what, all those
Yeah,
things, right?
totally. Yeah.
So I said to her, I was like, I'm looking, like quickly, like I'm looking to find out my higher self or what heaven is or what's going on, right? In this lifetime or what's beyond. And she said, okay, go. She said, yes, go down the stairs in the back and out into the next building.
You'll find
And
the meaning of life
she
just
told me,
in the next building.
right?
That's
So,
great.
oh my gosh. And she said, you'll find a room in there and with this skylight and just go in there. So I was like, well, okay. Yeah, so I ran wherever I ran. I ran out of the building, and I'm still aware that I'm dreaming, so I'm trying to do everything really fast. And I ran out and across the street into this big building, and this building was like it had big windows everywhere and this hallway type thing. And I looked in the first room, and it was a janitor's closet, and I was like, okay, that's probably not it.
Nope.
And I was looking around, and there wasn't many people, but I saw like some book stands and stuff like that, like magazine stands. And I thought, man, oh man, this is like really real for a dream. And so I kept, I ran up the hallway, and on my left side there was another room, and I went in, and there was a skylight, and I looked out the skylight, and there was the moon outside. And I said, okay, like, I'm ready.
I'm here now.
And nothing was happening at first. And then suddenly I felt like my body was flipping upside down, right? And I instantly shot upwards, like towards the ether, the universe. And then I woke up.
Whoa.
And
Like,
so
what?
I'm like, Frank,
That was
what?
the answer to my question. Whoa.
Right?
That's
Oh man,
bizarre.
it was crazy. But yeah, dreams have always been like super bizarre for me, and not every night, right? Like I'm lucky to get a bizarre dream, maybe like once every couple months. But when they are different, they're really wonderful, right? Like I really learn a lot, and I'm like, holy cow, what was going on there,
Yeah. Well, that's kind of what I'm trying to do with this podcast is that I know, so, everybody dreams, right? But nobody knows what they are or where they come from or, that kind of thing. And I love hearing about your stories because it's like, well, what do you dream about? I want to know, what your universe is telling you, which is just
exactly.
so cool. I love that.
I know, right? I've often thought, and maybe there is an app for it or something.
Maybe.
But I've often thought it would be interesting to have like an application where people can log their dreams, and then algorithms will go through and maybe pull like things that are similar. Because who knows? Maybe lots of us are dreaming the same stuff and we just don't know it, right?
Yeah,
Like, it'd be
probably.
amazing.
I mean,
Yeah.
right? Like, that would be so cool. I know there's a lot of dream apps that are like dream journals, but I haven't come
Yeah.
across one yet that does like a kind of a connection thing. So maybe that'll be a future project of mine. Because I want to know, like, I want to know what's going on here.
Right?
Yeah,
Right?
that's so crazy. So,
Yeah.
okay, well, I'm not going to take up too much more of your time, but what is, you've told me a lot of actually crazy dreams already. And I was going to ask you what, like, the most wild or unexplainable dream you've ever had is, but you've already told me quite a few dreams. So do you have any more up your sleeve?
I do. I've got one that stands out when you say that. I was on, I was, yeah, I was going through like, it was sunset, and it wasn't a lucid dream or anything, but there was a sunset, and I was in this like, and all the colors were very vivid in this dream, like so vivid, more vivid than any other dream I've probably ever had in my lifetime.
Wow.
And so saturated, right? So saturated colors. And if I remember correctly, so I was on like a hillside of corn stalks. So I was in this cornfield, and I was looking towards the sunset. And you know when there's something in the sunset, like it's black, right? Like you can't see. So I saw this rose, like just kind of there, big, right? Like in the middle of this field. And suddenly the rose like morphed into two kids playing. It was really, really odd.
Wow.
And I don't have kids myself, so I found it kind of interesting. And so I went over the hill, and suddenly I was on this beach, and this beautiful beach emerged, and I remember the sand being like big granules of sand, like bigger than ever imagined sand to be, and you could almost see through them. They were kind of translucent in a weird way. And of course, again, like all the colors were crazy, saturated, and I saw the kids again playing in the water. And then over the water in the distance, like in the clouds on the horizon, there was, this is going to sound crazy, there was this gigantic brain. Outline this brain, right?
Whoa, okay.
And I was thinking, what in the world? And I'm looking at it, and then it like moves like a cloud towards me and over me, and then I woke up. And I know that seems so mundane compared to my other dreams, but I think I don't know, I think it had to do with a lot of change in my life.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and the brain maybe symbolized what I was about to learn, right? Because a lot of what I do in hypnotherapy is all about the mind and the brain, and brain waves and stuff like that. So,
yeah.
It's all, seems like it's all connected.
Yeah. There sounds like there's so much symbolism in that dream, like a lot of dream symbols, like the rose and the sun and the brain being a cloud. Like those are all very, you could make your own dream symbol book, like just for you, for your dreams.
I know.
That's crazy. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, so beautiful. It sounds like a very ethereal kind of dream, like very empowering and intense, very intense kind of dream.
It was definitely, like, I woke up from that and just thought, holy moly. And I guess one little dream that I had falling asleep back to outer space, a little dream that I had, I was napping one day years ago, and just as I was falling asleep, or just as I was waking up or something, I was in a wormhole, right?
Oh, okay.
Going through this wormhole really quickly. And on the other end of it was this gigantic planet, but the planet I could tell was like lived in, like people lived in the planet.
Okay.
There was like raised, there was a pattern on it, like two circular patterns with a kind of a cross going through all of them. And this pattern was made out of raised soil or something that was on this planet. And man, oh man, it was incredible. And It just was right there in my vision, right after coming out of that tunnel. And so yeah, so I really believe that, maybe we can travel, we can soul travel when we're sleeping, and
Mm-hmm.
knows where we go. I mean, we
Yeah.
are energy, and we're connected to everything, right? So, why couldn't my energy suddenly be out God
Yeah.
knows where, right? Like in the planetary
Well,
system.
yeah. Right? Well, because like we don't know how our
Yeah.
consciousness and unconscious really work. Like we have a basic understanding of it, I think, and we're trying to like kind of figure it out. But yeah, like when we're asleep, who knows where it goes? You know,
Right?
we might have like portals in our head that we can dive in and
Maybe
out of, different areas of the world,
that would
or
be cool.
that's so cool. The fantasy in me is like, oh, that's so cool.
Right? Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, I wish that would be the way.
that would be awesome.
Yeah, it would be. Well, thank you so much for telling me all your stories. I really
You're
loved hearing
welcome.
them. That's so cool. And it's so cool that
Yeah.
you're a hypnotherapist too. Is there anything that you would like to um, like promote, like your business or your any groups that you're a part of? Tell people where they can find you.
Yeah, I mean, I do a lot of spiritual hypnosis. I mean, that's a big thing for me. So if people are interested in like life between lives hypnosis or past life regression hypnosis or anything like
Whoa.
that, yeah, I take
Whoa.
I
That's
take
so
people through
cool.
that.
Oh my
Yeah,
good. Okay,
and they can reach out to me through my email, which
I can put it in
well,
the
you
show
have
notes
the
and I'll put
okay,
it
awesome.
attached to the podcast and everything so they can find you.
Yeah, yeah,
Perfect. Wow, so cool. Okay, one thing about past life
yeah.
regression. Have you gotten past life regression? Like, do you know kind of
Yeah.
can you just tell me like a
Yeah.
little snippet of that? That's so cool. I love that.
What happened to me?
Yeah, yeah, if you don't mind
Yeah.
sharing.
No, none of course. So, which one?
Oh my goodness, there's more than one.
Um, well, I'll just do quick. Yeah, because during a past life regression, you can go to different lives, right? And especially like I have a tendency to go to the day of my death. Like I
Oh.
have a hard time going backwards. So which is okay. I mean, the
Mhm.
hypnotist, the hypnotherapist, like they bring you through it naturally and without any, you know, abreaction where you react to what's happening.
Mhm.
Um, and uh, and so my one of them was I was I don't know where I was, but I was in a desert area and I was a male
Mhm.
and I was running from like a town with my kids, right? I was running from the town with my kids, and these people on horses were kind of killing everybody in the town. It
Oh
wasn't.
no.
Um, so I was running, and then um, the there was suddenly a guy on a horse, and he had killed my kids,
Oh
and
wow, that's tragic.
stabbed. It is.
Wow.
It was. I mean, it was during it, and I mean, he killed me too. But
The happy family.
right?
Family celebration.
Um,
My goodness.
but the funny thing is when you're in it and you're seeing it, it's not like you would imagine. It's all about doing past life regression. Can be for fun, right? You go
Mhm.
back and you see what happens or what happened. But you can do a lot of healing in it, right? So sometimes, my belief system, I guess, is, we can carry um, old thought patterns or illnesses into our life, whether good or bad, right?
Mhm.
and from other lifetimes, and sometimes just noticing and going through a past life regression can release some of that, right?
Wow.
And so when I saw my kids die and I saw myself die, right? Because you're not in the body when you die. You're above the body looking down, right? And when I saw myself die, there was a lot of forgiveness work. I was suddenly forgiving the person that had killed me,
Wow.
understanding why I decided not to have kids in this lifetime because of that,
Wow.
right?
Interesting.
It was quite a connection. Yeah,
Wow.
it's an outstanding connection, and it was like, holy crap, like that's, that's why that happened, I guess. And people can look at it all different ways, right? It's just what comes to you. And when you're going through a past life regression, it just opens up the possibilities, and suddenly you have understandings that you might not have had before, about why you're scared of things, or why you go through the same kinds of relationship patterns, karma, if people believe in karma. But yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Wow.
And so I trained, I'm a past life regression hypnotist, and I'm also trained in QHHT by Dolores Cannon.
Sorry, what is that?
So QHHT, so Dolores Cannon, she got into a form of hypnosis many years ago. She's passed on now, but she took someone back. Her husband and her took someone back by accident. They were just trying to relieve, stuff from this lifetime, and ended up having 5 lifetimes that she remembered.
Wow.
And yeah, I think it's all in a book.
My
It is all in a
goodness.
book. I think it's called 5 Lifetimes Remembered.
Oh.
I don't know where I get it. And so it has to be done in person because sometimes I mean, that's just the way the academy wants you to do it that way, and that's totally fine. Regular past life regression can be done over virtual, like you and I are here. But yeah, so I'm trained in that, and there's a lot of things that can come from QHHT and past life regressions. Sometimes people go just to the light, and just discover things about themselves. The light in the sense of like the expansiveness of the universe, that they just become one, kind of, and they feel that.
Right.
And
Wow, that's beautiful. Very poetic.
yeah, so I mean, it is really my favorite. My favorite is interlife regression, so life between lives, and that's where you get to see like your soul group, you get to see lots of different things on, what you deem as the other side, where you go when you pass on, but lots of different things, right? And you get to learn so much about yourself and about challenges, why you might be facing challenges. But yeah, I feel like I'm going on and on here.
No, I'm loving it. I'm just absorbing it all because I knew
Wonderful.
about past life regression, but I didn't know about the other one, the in between
Yeah.
lifetimes, and I didn't know too much about past life regression. I think that all connects with dreaming, right? Because the only kind of state we really know is the one that we're talking right now. This is the one I'm conscious of. But then all those other things, like the past regressions and the in between lifetimes and stuff, like that's all very dreamy and kind of
It is, yeah.
hazy. So I think it's perfectly on brand right now with what we're talking
Yeah.
about. That's so cool. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
it's a lot of fun too, right? You get to really help people out. Because a lot of people are just struggling to know their path or to understand what they came here to Earth to do, or why they're here, or and usually like Life Between Lives clears that up, right?
Wow. That sounds like something I need to do actually, because I
Yeah, I can take you through it.
I would love to do that with you sometime. Well,
Yeah, absolutely.
that sounds wonderful. Well, I'll definitely have to contact you later about that, because
Yeah,
that sounds just great.
for sure.
Well,
For sure.
is there anything else that you'd like to talk about, or maybe just shout out? You've told us about what you do and where people can find you.
Mm.
I'll put all of your information where they can contact you in the show notes. And yeah, is there
Yeah, for
anything
sure.
else, or are you're all good to
Um,
go?
I think I'm good to go. I think the only thing I would say, the last little thing to say, is
Mm-hmm.
just about hypnosis. I know a lot of people are scared of it, right? Because of what Hollywood has done to it or
Yeah,
portrayed.
yeah.
And stage hypnosis can scare people sometimes. Stage hypnosis is a form of hypnosis, a very powerful form of hypnosis, but it's two branches, right?
Okay.
So they have a different learning that they go through, and I go through a different learning. Um, and so what I would say is that, if people are struggling with, their life path or anxiety, or, understanding themselves, or sleep,
Yeah.
then I would recommend hypnosis, because hypnosis is unfortunately the last thing that people turn to because they're desperate. And
Mm-hmm.
it should, I swear, like it should be the first thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, you can make drastic changes in your life in one session,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just, yeah, I can't say enough about it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, hey, that's exactly why I wanted to talk to you, and why I want to talk more about dreams to just people in general, because, you
Absolutely,
know,
yeah.
the our unfortunately, like, everyone seems to be suffering from mental, like, trauma right now. Like, everybody
I
is
know.
just so, oh, it's terrible. We're all over the place. Everybody needs a
I know.
therapist, and everybody needs, like, all this stuff. And it's like, hey, there's other options. We got hypnotherapy. We've got, you can look inside your dreams and try and kind of interpret those. Let's listen to what they're telling you. Like, there's so many different
Yeah,
ways to go about it. And I
there
love
really
that.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I really hope that people, come upon you and are able to, go through that, because it's so exciting too. Like, it's so cool to learn about yourself. Like, it's so awesome. I love it.
It is. It can be a little scary for people, right? Because they've lost themselves over the years.
Mhm.
But no, with a little hypnosis, you can get back to the way you were. It's, like feeling confident and motivated to do what you want to do in life, and feeling that self-love that we all
Mhm.
struggle with, right? And that is so quickly attainable in hypnosis, right?
Oh,
And anyway, yeah, so
yeah, that's
that's my
wonderful.
spiel.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you for your spiel. Thank you so much, Hilary, for joining me
You're
today.
welcome.
I'm so excited. This is like the first ever interview experience that we're having on this dream podcast, and I'm so excited about it. It's awesome.
Awesome.
I'd say we blew it out of the water first time.
Aw, thank you.
Super good.
All my crazy space dreams.
I love it. I love the space dreams, man. Honestly, anyone who's interested in dreams will automatically be interested in space. So those are like
They
inseparable.
kind of go together,
They are,
right?
yeah, totally, totally.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's perfect. So thank you so much again. And I
Thank
hope,
you.
thank you, thank you. I hope you have a really wonderful day. And I think we'll just end it there, if that's
Yeah,
okay with you. And
absolutely.
yeah, that's so wonderful. Okay. Thank you so much, Hilary.
No problem.
All right. Talk to you later.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.